ലിബറേഷൻ INPCയുടെ ആദ്യ രാജ്യാന്തര സമ്മേളനത്തിൻ്റെ സ്വീകരണ ഘോഷയാത്ര നമ്മുടെ സമ്മേളന പന്തലിലേക്ക് പ്രവേശിക്കുകയാണ്. ഈ സമ്മേളന പന്തലിലേക്ക് നമ്മുടെ കർഷകരും നമ്മുടെ വിദേശ പ്രതിനിധികളും കടന്നു വരുമ്പോൾ
objectives of the meeting were to bring together for the first time all of the producers and all of the organisations that are part of Liberation, so that we could have a shared sense of common purpose and direction for the future, a shared sense of a common culture amongst us, common direction, and a shared understanding of what the business is, what it's at, what it can achieve, what's possible, so that we can have realistic expectations around it as well. Big ambitions, but also realistic expectations.
An event like this one has brought farmers together in a way that they wouldn't ever have had an opportunity to do so, to explore issues to do with the whole value chain, to understand the complexity of the international business operation, and to be empowered to contribute to the decision making about the strategic direction of the business that they own.
The best way to empower producers if they have a say about what's going to happen with their products, and that's one. I think that's one of the big reasons for Coordate invested in Liberation, because normally the say of the small producers stops when they provide the products to the importers, but now it's for them very transparent what happens with the products up to the consumers. Now, for us it was important to see how Liberation will deal with the say of the producer organizations in the Liberation, and I'm really satisfied about how democracy is in action.
3 ഇന്റർനാഷണൽ നട്ട് പ്രൊഡ്യൂസേഴ്സ് കോഓപ്പറേറ്റീവിന്റെ അംഗ സംഘടനകളുണ്ട്. കഴിഞ്ഞ ഏതാണ്ട് ഒരു
By promoting democratic structures at community level, fair trade is helping to bring the greater governance issues down to the grassroots level.
I've been hearing of Liberation before I came here. I knew that NASFAM is somehow part of Liberation. But coming here, I found that I belong to a bigger family from all over the world. A lot of nut growers are in Liberation, and we are given a chance to give our view as to what's the direction in which we can take Liberation.
And by having shareholding in Liberation, the farmers have got a direct link to the Western market, and they've got a chance then to be able to plow back the profits that Liberation can generate back into their own countries.
And NASFAM is given the chance to come and participate at the annual general meeting of Liberation. This is nothing other than democracy at work.
And in that sense, it was always felt that, for example, the election was an open process, that any of the 11 cooperatives could nominate candidates. They could nominate themselves, or they could nominate others to serve on the board. The shadow board, one of the things that it was tasked to do was actually to come up with an election manual, an election process. So that work was then presented to members. Members agreed that that was the election process they wanted to follow. And there was the most important element, which was the actual discussions about nominations.
3 of those members have not attended this meeting. 2 of those members who are not attending the meeting have returned proxy forms.
So nominations were received by the Secretariat in early August, and we now have the 5 candidates who are going to be put forward for the election, which is going to take place on Thursday. In terms of gender representation in the board, again, I think it was one of those unwritten rules. I don't think there was something as formally said as we want 2 spaces to be filled by women, but there was certainly a desire to have diversity in gender.
Y bueno, si en algún momento llegase a ocupar los cargos, alguno de ellos, en la organización, en el directorio, de verdad, procuraría no defraudar a todos los que ellos confiaron en mí.
It was phenomenal to be part of, debates where you had, Brazil nut producers from Bolivia and peanut producers from Malawi and cashew nut producers from Mozambique, all engaged in, looking at the issues and the challenges and the opportunities that we've got, and coming up with solutions, coming up with ideas, brainstorming, everybody contributing. It wasn't the case that the northerners were leading the southerners, or it was real democracy in action.
What is democracy in action? I think this AGM is it. I don't think any of the people who've been here from whatever background will have been in anything remotely like this. It is just an extraordinary expression of solidarity, just seeing people coming from such different environments and sitting down as equals and recognizing that working together we can actually do a huge amount.